Live from Utah's first TV station, ABC4 News celebrates 75 years.
Good evening, I'm Glenn Mills.
And I'm Emily Flores. We thank you for joining us here today. Our top story, a former West Jordan High School teacher in court today.
This marking his first court appearance for allegedly raping one of his students. 32-year-old Matthew Rookert facing 17 counts, including rape, sexual abuse, and obstruction of justice. Police say the abuse started last November and then happened in his classroom. A judge granting his 16-year-old victim a protective order today.
And also new at 5, court documents identify the inmates accused of attacking prison staff at the end of January and beginning of February. Records show Atiba Jacobs and Travis Bennett assaulted guards in 2 separate instances. Jacobs allegedly left one officer with fractured eye sockets and broken teeth. He needed surgery to reconstruct his nose. Bennett is accused of punching an officer after getting, quote, upset about rec time. These are 2 out of 3 known attacks in the new prison facilities in recent weeks.
New information tonight on a skier who died in Big Cottonwood Canyon's backcountry. 37-year-old Kyle Mortensen leaves behind a wife and 3 children. Now, according to a GoFundMe started by family members, Mortensen has 3 sons, ages 7, 4, and 7 months old. They are raising money to fund his kids' education. Mortensen died Tuesday when he skied into a deep hole in the snow surrounding a tree.
And now to a weather alert. Concerns for some mountain communities who will soon have even more inches of snow building up yet again. Utah Avalanche Center saying that they are worried about the possibility of roof avalanches as more snow piles on top of homes and higher temperatures are on the way. When snow slides off roofs, it can land on people below or block them in their homes. And officials say it's something that has killed adults and kids in the past.
Turning now to a first look at the weather forecast, and what a winter this has been.
Yes, indeed, and there's still more coming, right, Alana?
Yeah, that storm last night delivered not just in the high country, but in many of our mountain valleys and valleys. Take a look at some of those totals. Right off the bat, Liberty getting 7.4, Cache Valley getting 6.5. That Providence number is healthy. 3.1 in Garland. North Ogden picked up 2.5. Murray got 2. Salt Lake International got 1.5 inches. So as that band of snow came through, it delivered a break today, which means we've got very gorgeous conditions. Live look at southern Utah, 63 degrees in St. George. But even in the last hour, we've seen increasing cloud cover, and that's linked to our next storm system. It's going to pack a punch as we roll into our Friday. Great shot from Utah Lake. The clouds filling in on the western end of the state. We're also going to see winds increasing. Logan not wanting to show up temperature-wise, but we've got 30s, 40s, 60s down in St. George. We're sitting at 47 in Salt Lake, but we hit 50 degrees, so very close to seasonal norms. This time of year, 54 is the average high in Salt Lake, and we're going to be closer to that with this storm system, and that, of course, changes things up. High pressure that's been in control breaks down. There's the cloud cover on the western end of the state. We've got precip in northwestern Nevada that's tracking towards the Beehive State, so wet weather on the way, and as a result, our Friday is going to be active, and not just that, it's going to be dicey when it comes to precipitation type. Look at how our snow levels fluctuate with this incoming storm. It means that we will see valley rain, but at times we have the chance of some mixed precipitation up in the high country. Oh boy, this storm means business. Lots of winter storm warnings posted. I'll break them down and how much to expect coming up in my full forecast. Glenn, Emily, over to you.
Lana, thank you. In politics, one bill waiting the governor's signature has many school districts excited for the future of kindergarten programs.
Yes, ABC4's Northern Utah correspondent Kate Garner reporting from Ogden with why school districts are anxiously waiting for the governor's signature.
Only 30% of kindergarten-age children in Utah have access to a full-day kindergarten program. This bill boosts funding, allowing for more schools to adopt the program. Bill sponsor Representative Robert Spendlove says Utah has the lowest percentage of student access to full-day kindergarten. In Utah, the Weighted Pupil Unit, or WPU, is used to determine how much funding a school program needs to work. Currently, the WPU for kindergarten is nearly half of the rate for grades 1 through 12. The bill changes that, increasing WPU and adding nearly $100 million in funding. A few counties piloting the program.
In Washington County, 94% of parents signed up. In Ridge County and Carbon County, it was 100%. So we've seen that this program is really popular when it's offered.
The Ogden School District currently has 28 full-day kindergarten programs and 7 half-day programs. But 2 of those 7-day programs would have already been switched to full day had there been funding.
We're just simply thrilled that the state has seen the impact that a full-day kindergarten program can produce for kids and that they're helping enable this to be expanded throughout the state.
Davis School District is also showing interest in this. Currently, of the 62 elementary schools in the district, only 12 have full-day kindergarten programs, and 35 principals from other elementary schools are hoping to get a full-day program in their school. Reporting from Ogden, Cade Garner, ABC4 News.
Thank you, Cade. We turn now to national news. The CEO of Norfolk Southern Railway was in the hot seat on Capitol Hill today.
Lawmakers demanding answers after the company's train derailed in Ohio last month, sparking a massive environmental hazard for residents. Raquel Martin in Washington tonight with the latest.
The head of Norfolk Southern Railway made broad promises to help the people impacted by this chemical spill. But lawmakers are demanding the company go further to ensure this never happens again.
I want to begin today by expressing how deeply sorry I am.
The CEO of Norfolk Southern Railway is promising to rectify the chemical spill that left thousands of people in Ohio and nearby Pennsylvania concerned for their health.
It is clear the safety mechanisms in place were not enough.
At a Senate hearing, Alan Shaw told lawmakers the railway company is working to change its safety protocols and is already investing millions towards cleanup.
We are not waiting to act.
But senators on both sides of the aisle criticized the multi-billion-dollar company for prioritizing profits over safety.
It was a disaster waiting to happen.
And they say the problem continues.
The news is reporting that there's just been a significant derailment in Alabama of one of your trains.
Ohio Republican Senator J.D. Vance is demanding Congress pass enhanced railway regulations to prevent the next disaster. And he's urging his Republican colleagues not to stand in the way.
Particular slice of people who seem to think that any public safety enhancements for the rail industry is somehow a violation of the free market. This is an industry that enjoys special subsidies that almost no industry enjoys.
Shaw did not commit to supporting new regulations, but says his company will work with residents
For as long as it takes.
Officials from the EPA also testified they pushed back against Republican criticism that they took too long to respond. And they're also insisting that following several tests, the air and water is safe for residents. For now in Washington, Raquel Martin, back to you.
All right, thank you, Raquel. Well, now to developing news, a railway project that would go through the Uinta Basin put to public comment today. It's called the Uinta Basin Railway, and it would connect oil fields in Utah to a national network of rail. Activists and some lawmakers say the project would endanger the Colorado River. Colorado Senator Michael Bennett saying a train derailment off the planned Uinta Basin Railway would mean environmental disaster, similar to what's going on in Palestine, Ohio. Meantime, developers say this is a solution to long-time oil transportation issues more than it is a threat to the environment.
An update for states in the Colorado River Basin. The Bureau of Reclamation has stopped sending releases from Flaming Gorge to Lake Powell this week. This decision made at the recommendation of states, including Utah, who say a wetter than average winter has set up Lake Powell to stay above where it needs to be to power electricity. Good for Utah. We all know this geyser, it's Old Faithful, but researchers from Utah are drawing attention to a lesser-known geyser in Yellowstone for its strange habit of vibrating. Here's how it works. The doublet pool doesn't erupt, it thumps. And researchers with the University of Utah discovering the pool is more than a tourist attraction. It's a thermometer. The local scientists finding the timing between sections of thumping reflects energy moving around and heating the pool. An associate professor of geology at the university says she hopes this finding can be used to better understand geyser eruptions.
All right, still ahead, traveling is getting easier for people flying out of the Salt Lake airport. See how the TSA is using new technology to help travelers get through security with just their phone.
The battle over the budget is intensifying on Capitol Hill as President Biden unveils his proposal. I'm Hannah Brandt in Washington. I'll have that story coming up.